Hello, I'm Shaun Ryan and welcome to my Garden Escape Diaries. So we're here in what I call the tropical area of my garden. I like it down here because this is a bit more sheltered. I grow all my kind of weird and wonderful plants here, but it's only part of the garden. You'll see a little bit later, there's lots of different areas. I've always loved plants and gardening. Even when I was as young as 3, 4, I was naturally drawn to plants. I was always asking my mum, who's also a gardener, about plants. It really does run in our family. All of my relatives and extended relatives are very keen gardeners. We'd all meet at my nan's on a weekend, and she had a wonderful garden just full of fruit and vegetables. I remember her strawberries, just eating the strawberries straight from the plants. Her plum jam was just incredible. It really was. My mum encouraged me to garden. I'd get things like plant books for birthdays, Christmas. I remember one year, all the other children were asking for like bikes and toys for Christmas, and I asked for a small greenhouse, which I absolutely loved. Spending time in my garden always makes me just so happy. What I try and do every day, even in the winter sometimes, I'll try and spend at least 5-10 minutes in the garden. Some days I spend the whole day in the garden. I'll literally get up in the summer, I'll get up at 5 in the morning and I'll be gardening till 9 at night. We bought a 1960s house that was quite derelict, and we bought it for the plot, for the views, for the potential of the garden, but we didn't really know what to do with the house, and eventually we knocked it down, and it was the scariest moment because we suddenly, we literally paid a substantial amount of money for a pile of rubble. It really was just mud, rubble. There was a few plants that were established, a few trees, but that was literally it. We started off with the lawn. We actually put the lawn in. We started to dig out basic borders. We put hedges in because the garden's very exposed, so we started to put hedges in. But we are doing it bit by bit, section by section. So the layout of the garden is based on really many years of knowing what I love and what plants are like. And I really like open areas, but at the same time, I love small, intimate areas. So what I've tried to do is create a big open garden, but then smaller areas like this one, where I can theme it. This is my tropical garden. I've got a side garden that's full of acers and ferns and foliage. Then I've got a formal garden at the front that's mostly lavender and just buxus hedging. I've got my lovely greenhouse area. I've got a wide knowledge of plants, so I know which plants will work where. But yeah, it's like my dream come true. It's everything that I ever wanted with a garden. Biggest challenges, I'd say, with this garden, the exposed nature of it. So when we moved in, it was a really hot August, but there was quite a wind, and within a day, certain plants I had in pots literally got fried by the wind. And it was quite a steep learning curve, because you imagine, you see the lovely views we've got, but in the winter, the winds are fierce and they can really drop the temperatures of the actual garden. And then in the summer, we get really hot winds sometimes, almost like a hairdryer on the plants. So it has been quite challenging to find plants that can survive those extreme temperatures and those fierce winds. So I've had to really divide the garden up with plants that will act as windshields, and I've put in quite a lot of hedging. And I'm really putting plants at the back of the border that will tolerate fierce winds and extreme conditions. And then that makes it easier to fill in the other areas with plants that will then have a bit more shelter. But yeah, it's the exposed nature of this garden that is by far the most challenging. Predominantly, we did design the layout of the garden ourselves. It really is like a dream come true. It's based on what I've always wanted. Every plant tells a story, and I can walk around this garden and I'll know where I bought the plant from, when I planted it, or who gave it to me. But there's one particular plant that always brings back some amazing childhood memories. Now, when I was about, again, maybe 7, 8, there was a store called Woolworths. And I remember this pampas grass, this sad, reduced pampas grass. It was a few pence. I remember thinking, I can revive that. So I bought this little pampas, and my mum let me plant it in the middle of the front garden. And this pampas grew huge. It looked amazing. It's still there now in our old family home, and it's about 2 meters, 2.5 meters wide. It's magnificent. Now, this is the first time I've been able to plant a pampas because my other gardens have been too small. And whenever I look at that pampas, I just remember buying that little pampas grass as a child and growing it and being so proud. So yeah, that brings back special memories, that one. I've still got loads of plans for this garden. So we're 5 years in now. I've only just started. I want to extend the borders. I want deeper borders. That means more plants. You can never have enough plants, by the way. Now, the centre of the garden, in my head, I want to put a massive water feature there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to curve the borders all the way up to the water feature and have them blend in. Then I want to do more grow your own. At the moment, Jason's dad, he does a lot of grow your own and we help him. He's got lots of raised beds, but I want to put raised beds in here and do lots more fruit and veg. A lot of the plants in the garden come from friends. We share plants. I love propagating, I love growing, I love sharing, but I also run the local garden club, and it's become really successful. We've made it fun. We've opened up to everybody, you know, whatever level of experience. We say, come and join our gardening club. We have a thing called Safari Gardens where we all go around each other's gardens, and it's wonderful to see what our members have achieved. You know, it's wonderful. We have a plant sale actually every year at the pub. As some of you know, I'm head gardener at the pub. I'm making myself sound really grand here, aren't I? But I look after the pub garden, and we have a plant sale there every year, raising money for the club and for charities. It's really important that our local community have a really nice pub garden to sit in. So I do my very best to make the pub garden a lovely space to enjoy a drink and a meal. If you're starting your own transformation journey with your garden, get to know your garden as it currently is. Spend time sitting in different areas. Work out where you want to be at what time of the day. Check out your soil. Do you need to improve your soil? Don't plant anything until your soil is ready. So you might want to use some organic matter. You might want to turn the soil over many, many times, but get every area ready in terms of soil. Don't try and achieve a complete makeover in one go. Do it in certain areas. Do it little by little. Don't rush anything. You know, gardening's a journey. Don't rush. You'll regret it, trust me. So really know where the sun sets, where the sun rises, how much light you get in certain areas, and choose your plants accordingly. Have a good idea of how big those plants can actually grow, because you buy a little plant like this and think, oh yeah, that looks nice there, but you may not realise that in a few years' time, that plant's going to be 4 metres high. So really think about those things before you plant. Discover more at My Garden Escape at QVCUK.com.